What up, Space Fam? Goes in here for AnimeUproar, and today we're going to be looking at the latest developments in the Demon Slayer story. And we finally got to see the return of some of my favorite characters, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoy these Demon Slayer videos and want to keep them coming, make sure to smash that like button to let me know. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell or else you will miss new Demon Slayer videos when they come out. Before I release them on YouTube, I upload these chapter reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so to get sneak previews on the chapter reviews, make sure you are following AnimeUproar Audio wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the links in the description. Obviously, there will be manga spoilers in this video. We are talking about the latest chapter, chapter 190 after all. Now without further ado, let's jump into it. We start this chapter with Iguro still gripping his now red blade. If you'll remember, Iguro had just turned his blade red. Yoriichi, the strongest Demon Slayer in history and the only man that ever beat Muzan, had a red blade. Red blades represent the power of the sun, the natural weakness of the demons. As a result, when demons are cut with red blades, it reduces their ability to regenerate quickly. Iguro, with his new blade, looked like he was going to completely kick butt at the end of last chapter, but that would have been too easy. At the beginning of this chapter, it is revealed that when Iguro first saw his reddened blade, he thought he made a mistake because everything in his sight went white. Just making the blade turn red used too much energy, so he couldn't land an effective attack on the Demon King of Pop. It's funny, Muzan this whole time has pretty much been standing in place and waving around his demon tentacles. I'm actually surprised by how ineffective his attacks have been for the most part. I said in the last chapter review that things look bad for Muzan because he hasn't been able to kill 4 pillars without red weapons, and eventually he's going to have to fight even more people, and they may all have red weapons by that point. So yeah, even though he's the big bad boss villain of the series, he's gonna need some kind of upgrade if he really hopes to stand a chance of winning this. Now, let's jump back to Iguro, who's sweating and seeing white. He put so much strength into his grip in the middle of battle that he almost passed out from lack of oxygen. This brief moment of almost passing out throws him off to the point where he almost gets hit by Muzan's demon tentacle. Sanemi screams out his name because he's worried about him. Maybe it's just me, but it's nice seeing Sanemi, the big jerk of the series, clearly caring about Iguro. It warms my heart, it really does. Iguro, for his part, is worried. He knows that if he falls out, every other pillar's burden will be increased. He knows this, but at the same time, he's not in a position to block or dodge Muzan's attack. He says that he's fighting for Mitsuri's share, which is admirable of him. He wants to step up so that Mitsuri, the sexy woman he loves, doesn't have to endanger her own life anymore. Still though, despite his best intentions, Iguro can't feel anything but his hands, and it seems like he's about to get hit. Gyu tries to return the favor and save Iguro like Iguro saved him a little bit ago, but he's too late. Yet magically, Iguro appears in the air completely fine. Muzan is shocked. He goes in to try to hit him, but his demon tentacles get cut. Muzan realizes that something's off. The cut is not like Gyomei's or Sanemi's, and Gyu went to save Iguro, so he was nowhere near him. Iguro is too far to reach Muzan too. Then Muzan notices that the blade doesn't cut cleanly, it's a jagged blade. And by now, us hardcore fans should know that this has to be Inosuke's blade. This appears to be the work of Yushiro's technique Blindfold, which lets him mask something's or somebody's presence using paper talismans. On the cover page of this chapter, 3 hands were seen holding these paper talismans, so it would make sense that Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Kanao ran into Yushiro and used his powers to make themselves invisible. They have finally arrived and are now fighting Muzan. The pillars have reinforcements, and Yushiro again got to help in the fight against Muzan. He might really end up being the MVP of this fight when all is said and done. After all, they wouldn't even be fighting outside if it wasn't for Yushiro's genjutsu on Nakime. Soon enough, Muzan notices that there are 3 people and he destroys all of the paper talismans. Next thing you know, we see Kanao, Inosuke, and Zenitsu. Dear God, it is nice to see them back in the story. It's been way too long. Zenitsu in particular showed huge progress in his last fight, so that I've been dying to see him fight again. His lightning dragon move that he used against the new Upper Moon 6 Kaigaku was beyond epic, and I can't wait to see him step it up even further in this fight. Of course, the first thing Zenitsu does is act as comedic relief after he's hit. With an exaggerated expression, he cries out, "How dare you," to Muzan, as if Muzan is supposed to be nice to him in this fight to the death. Kanao is just surprised that Muzan could figure out what was going on so quickly, and Inosuke, the manly man of Demon Slayer, calls Muzan a filthy maggot. Gyomei is surprised they're alive, and in one translation, Inosuke calls the strongest pillar an idiot and asks him if he saw him die. Clearly, Inosuke is willing to insult anyone, no matter if they're his senior, or if they're way stronger than him, or if they're the Demon King of Pop himself, and you can't help but respect him for that. He also reveals that he's carrying a bunch of paper talismans, so everyone could potentially become invisible. Inosuke invites Muzan to cut as many of the papers as he can since he's got a bunch, and he even goes on to call Muzan's attacks pitiful before he lets out a scream while dodging an especially close attack. Inosuke is as insulting as ever, and I love it. I'm always entertained when Inosuke is on screen, or I guess on panel in this case. He's even getting to Muzan, who tells him to cut the unnecessary chatter. We then jump to my boy Iguro, who catches Muzan off guard with an awesome snake slash. He takes some tentacles off, but these don't grow back immediately. It's not quite like when Muzan fought Yoriichi. Back then it was almost like his regeneration straight up stopped for a while. Here Muzan is still regenerating, but as Sanemi points out, he's regenerating slower because of the red blade. Kano and Zenitsu keep using the papers for invisibility. Kano looks serious, and Zenitsu, in his usual hilarious fashion, looks like the biggest crybaby since Usopp. Still though, he's fighting and we know we can count on him when the chips are down. Zenitsu and Kano attack Muzan, who's upset. He says they are pesky flies and that they have nothing but pitiful tricks, but still he's extremely upset, suggesting that they are getting to him. Clearly Muzan is not as in control of this situation as he'd like to be. He probably expected to have won already, and here he is fighting an increasing number of opponents and he can't even finish one off. My boy Iguro makes another move. I knew we'd see some awesome things from him since he got his power upgrade at the end of the last chapter, and he's delivered. He slashes Muzan from a bunch of angles again and gets away without Muzan landing a hit on him. We jump to Gyomei, who points out the improved situation. Iguro's blade is now red and their numbers have increased, with the addition of Zenitsu, Kanao, and Inosuke. Hopefully those three will be awakening their Demon Slayer marks soon. I still want to see my boy Zenitsu wreck Muzan with some upgraded Lightning Dragon moves. But for now, while we wait for that, we got Gyomei realizing that all of these favorable circumstances have opened up some space for him to do something. The Gentle Giant of Demon Slayers hits the two ends of his weapon together and it turns red like last time when he fought Kokushibo. Gyomei notices a burning smell and heat. So the red color is accompanied by intense heat and burning, just like the sun. No wonder these weapons are so effective against Muzan and other demons. Gyomei suggests that the red weapon may not last long, but he's glad that it increases his offense even temporarily. He gets what must be the most significant hit on Muzan during this fight. He takes out the left side of Muzan's chest and the left arm with it. Muzan is not happy. I said things looked bad for Muzan before, and now they look absolutely horrible. Sanemi hits his blade against Gyu's, turning both weapons red. Gyu has finally joined the Red Blade Club. A crow says there is 1 hour and 3 minutes left until dawn. The last panel of the chapter shows Sanemi and Gyu looking cool and confident. Sanemi says that there's no problem and that they'll chop Muzan into little pieces. And that's what happened in this chapter. Muzan, as predicted, is doing poorly. He didn't have the skill to finish off 4 pillars when they were heavily poisoned, and now they're better thanks to the medicine from Tamayo's cat. Their Demon Slayer's marks have manifested, their blades have turned red, and Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Kano have shown up. And the three are even sometimes invisible. Gyomei got a significant hit, taking off almost a quarter of Muzan's body. Muzan cannot keep up like this, and the story would be kind of boring if the Demon Slayers kept crushing him in a one-sided way. That is why I think that Muzan is going to get some kind of power upgrade soon. Keep in mind, Tanjiro and Nezuko haven't even shown up, and Muzan, the strongest demon, is clearly not doing well. Sanemi is confident that they can take him, and even Gyu, who's looked worried for a large portion of this fight, looks like he's calm and ready to kick butt in the last panel. Let me know, what do you think is going to happen? What kind of upgrade or transformation can we expect from Muzan? Does he have some other trick up his sleeve? This is a common formula in Demon Slayer. Working together, the weaker Demon Slayers are able to overcome the stronger demon opponent. The Demon Slayers have been helping each other and making up for each other's weaknesses. It shows how, by working together, people with like-minded goals can make each other stronger and can accomplish things that none of them could accomplish alone. Everyone is playing their part, including Yushiro, who keeps being an extremely annoying thorn in Muzan's side. However, there is no way Muzan's gonna be defeated before Nezuko and especially Tanjiro show up to play their parts in his defeat. Muzan is gonna have no choice but to step it up next chapter. Then he might turn the tides for a bit before Tanjiro and Nezuko come to the rescue. We can still expect Zenitsu, Kano, and Inosuke to get Demon Slayer marks and Red Blade upgrades. Still though, this chapter was too one-sided, and I'm expecting that Muzan will turn the tables as early as the next one with some kind of new form or secret power. We shall see, but this chapter was definitely an eventful one, and I cannot overemphasize how excited I am that the Lightning Dragon, Manly Beast, and Flower Eye trio has finally returned to the story. We got to see Kano's Vermilion Eye and Zenitsu's original Lightning Dragon move in their last battles, but Inosuke is overdue for a power upgrade or new move. I look forward to seeing him shine in the upcoming chapters. Let me know what you're most excited to see at this point. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this chapter review, make sure to smash that like button to let me know. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell or you will miss future Demon Slayer chapter reviews. You can find more Demon Slayer content and important updates on the new movie and seasons on our Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. And remember, before I release them on YouTube, I upload these chapter reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So to get early access of the chapter reviews, make sure you are following AnimeUproar Audio wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the links in the description. A special thank you goes out to our patrons over on Patreon who help us survive YouTube issues and who help make videos like this one possible. I especially want to thank our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, $50 Beat, Anatoly Kazatsky, Alpha Dio, Angel Cruz, Team Sparky65, Cricket XP, Rohan Kapoor, Jessica Maloney, and Emperor Otaku. And are the 1-tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans: Steven Ingrata, Alola Natem, Makoto Kun, The World, Steelers, The School Bus, and Tyson Quirino. Thank you all so much. If you enjoy our work, you can support more of it by going over to patreon.com/AnimeUproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these amazing people right here, and you'll even get access to our private patron-only Discord, where we talk about anime, life, and of course, dank memes. So check out patreon.com/AnimeUproar, link in the description if you're interested. You can also now join the YouTube channel and support more content that way if you prefer. Whichever way you choose to support us, you can get the same great benefits. Thanks again, and until next time, see you, Space Cowboy.